I don't know with this game. I'm very on the fence with this one. This is Crucible. It's a new free-to-play third-person shooter on Steam, and it's actually made by Amazon. Amazon have started making their own games, and I don't want to be too critical because it's the first ever release, but this game's not going to take off. It's not going to be the next Fortnite. It's not even going to be as popular as Anthem, and it's hard to say that Anthem has any popularity. But we're going to jump straight into it. This is a review for Crucible, and I'm just going to be talking about what I like and what I don't like. And remember, it's opinions. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this game in the comments. And I just want to start with the training. You load up the game, it puts you into training. It just teaches you the fundamentals and what the game is about. So it'll show you how to medkit, you'll have to do some shooting, and then it will explain the PvE part of the game. There is PvP as well, it's mixed in. But you do the training, and then you are presented with your home screen. So you can see at the top there is store, and in the store it's microtransaction city. You can buy skins, you can buy profile icons, which are your avatars. There's a lot of stuff you can buy, and microtransactions are optional, but they're kind of irritating because that stuff you can earn from the battle pass. So there's two different ways, and I know they need to make their money, but having two different ways of spending money at the top of the screen, it doesn't look good. And then with that, we'll jump into the battle pass, and there is a couple of unique features, but I don't think they should have gone unique with it. I think they should have been more traditional with it. Because with this battle pass, there are 80 tiers, and it's currently pre-season, and not only that, they were nice enough when you load up the game, it's free to play, but you load it up and you've got 1,000 currency. The battle pass costs 950, and not only that, throughout the battle pass you will earn that currency back. So if you're smart about it, and let's just say you play for 10 seasons of the battle pass, you can get every single one for free. Because you can get the first one, which they essentially give to you anyway, and then you can earn enough to buy the second one, and then buy the third one, and it will carry on like that, and you could forever just keep getting free battle passes, so that's pretty cool. But I don't like the way you level it up. As I said, there are 80 tiers, and after, I believe it's level 36, the free pass doesn't get any more rewards. There's nothing else after 36 unless you're paying, or unless you've unlocked the premium side of it. But the way you level up this battle pass, which is possibly the worst way I've ever seen in a game, you have to get these shiny yellow sticker things, and you earn them by completing daily challenges. There are 3 daily challenges, no weeklies, no nothing, it's just simply 3 daily challenges. One of them for me is awarding 3 of these yellow things, one's awarding 2, and the other one is awarding 2 as well. So that's from 1 day's worth of challenges, I can get 7 of these yellow, I'm going to say they're diamonds, let's just go with diamonds. So you can get these yellow diamonds, and you need to get 10 in order to level up once. So to go to level 2 of the battle pass, I need to get 10 diamonds. From the first day, I can only get 7. So therefore, to reach level 2 of the battle pass, or tier 2, I have to play for 2 days. I think they should have just gone with the traditional, you earn XP, you level up your pass. That to me would have been a lot better. I don't like the way they've approached it. And then at the bottom of the screen you can change a character. So there are 10 characters in total, and each of them play in their own way. I don't think there's necessarily a meta in this game, and a meta is normally something that everyone goes to because it's kind of like the overpowered thing, and I don't think there is that in this game because each of the characters in this game have their own playstyle. They feel completely different to each other, and they're balanced quite well. If you know how to play with one of your characters, you're going to do better than another player, so their skill level comes into it as well. You have things like a harpoon gun, which is basically a sniper, you have minigun, you have flamethrower, you have your standard machine gun with the equivalent of Soldier 76. You also have a melee-based character with this gigantic axe, and I tried him, I can't stand him, even though I get killed by him quite often. And one of the things that annoys me about character selection is when you're loading into a game, you can have, let's just say, Captain Mendoza, he's the Soldier 76. Let's just say there's 4 Captain Mendozas in the game that you're playing. When you decide to group up with other players, say you're playing with your friends, there's 4 of you in a party, you have to individually select your characters. You can't have 2 players playing as Captain Mendoza. And it makes no sense because it's allowed in the game. You can have 2 Captain Mendozas. I was in a game where there were 4. Out of the 8v8, the enemy team had 4 Captain Mendozas. So that's half their team. So they should either have done it so where your party can pick whichever character they want, or they should have done it where when you're in a game, you can only have one of each character in that game. I don't like how let's just say, for example, me and a friend, we can't both pick Captain Mendoza, but when I'm Captain Mendoza, there's someone else in the game that's playing as that character as well. That's really off-putting when it comes to character selection. And then we have the game modes. There are 3 in total. You can still go back to training. You have, I believe it's called Heart of the Hives, like it's a game mode I've never played. You have another game mode I've never played, and then you have Harvest Command, which is under the arcade section. And Harvest Command is basically a domination, but you have these harvesters that you have to interact with in order to actually capture the point. I believe they should have gone again with the more traditional approach. They should have had Harvester Command, where it's basically domination. They should have had some mode where it's similar to Team Deathmatch. Even if they have different names and different approaches, just more like well-known game modes would have been the best approach in my opinion. Because in the Harvest Command game mode, you drop in and there are 3 different things you need to be focusing on. You drop in with your drop pod. You can also get skins for your drop pod as well. Like through the battle pass, you level that up. You can get drop pod skins, character skins. The one unique thing that I forgot to mention in the battle pass is when you get to tier 80, there is a legendary skin key you get, and it basically opens up this thing and you get to pick a legendary skin. I believe you can save the keys, but obviously that's going to take months because each battle pass is basically going to be a season. But you jump in to the match from your drop pod and you go to a harvester. On your way to that harvester, there's possibly going to be PvE creatures, and you have PvP enemy players that you have to kill. So there's PvE, PvP, and the capture sort of game mode objective that you're needing to focus on. So there's a lot to focus on. And one thing a lot of players do not understand about this game at the moment, and it's hard to pick up. Like, it's not a game that you're going to get into and you're going to master it straight away. There's a big learning curve with this game. You need to get used to the characters, how the game plays, what your strategy is going to be. There's a lot to it, but you get into the game and essence is the most important thing in this game. There are like 3 different level up types in this game. You can level up your account, you can level up your individual characters, which I don't think actually does anything besides unlocks new avatars and voices and other things like that. But then you also have team levels. And I say team levels because you have an in-game leveling system. I don't know what it caps at, but once you get to level 5, this kind of becomes a grind. And you have to just constantly kill and capture points to earn enough. And normally by the time you've reached level 5, shortly after the game will end. But you have this leveling system and it's team based. So you kill a PvE creature, that drops essence. You pick it up, that's awarded to your entire team. When you capture a point or kill an enemy player, that essence is awarded to your entire team. You need to get this essence because when your team levels up, you get upgrades. So with Captain Mendoza, or Soldier 76, when he gets to, I think it's level 4, he has this ability so that the first 6 rounds in his magazine are going to have an extra 33% damage. When you first start off with him, you've only got 24 rounds in your mag. He fires a pulse rifle, it's basically an assault rifle. And I think it's level 3, he has faster reload speed and it ups the mag size to 30 from 24. So them extra 6 bullets by the time you're level 4 are going to be dealing more damage with every magazine. So it's going to be helpful for killing enemy players and the PvE creatures as well, because they can deal a lot of damage to you. So if you're in a game and your team is level 5, the enemy team is level 1, you can pretty much count on winning them fights, even if you have a much lower skill level, because of the benefits that are rewarded. So when you are playing this game, make sure you are going for the essence, kill all the PvE creatures, capture the harvesters, because I played a lot of matches where nobody on my team is capping the harvesters, so I lose the match, that loses potential XP. It's frustrating, but there are so many different functions in the game, there's a lot to learn with it. And then another thing is, I would really appreciate if they would add a mini-map into this game, because the map size is huge. I believe the map should be lowered down in size as well. And you always, well, for me personally, it always seems as though I'm unaware of my location. I don't have a fucking clue where I am. Because you spawn in from your drop pod and you need to pay attention to where you selected to spawn. Because let's just say there's a spawn point south of Charlie. I need to make sure I know to run north. There is a compass at the top of the screen, but there's not a mini-map. So you don't have a clue. Like, there's not an A, B, C, D, E at the top of the screen. It's just an empty screen. So you can't see where these capture points are. You kind of need to understand the layout of the map and know where you're going, or you have to take away from the immersion and you have to press M to pull your map up and then have a look at the direction you need to go. So I believe a mini-map would be really, really helpful in terms of knowing where you are on the map and helping out with the gameplay in general. And then the maps, like you have A, B, C, D and E on Harvest Command, and they're all so close to the middle of the map. They're not too far away from each other. And then you have these humongous areas, like we'll split the map into 3. You've got all of the harvesters in the middle of the map in portion number 2. Portions number 1 and 3 of the map are exactly the same size, if not a little bit bigger than the middle of the map. And all that's going to be filled with are these pods that occasionally come in and they give you multiplied damage and other things like that. There aren't too many of them each match. But then apart from that, it's just PvE creatures and then just a shitload of running. That's all you seem to do on them outer parts of the map, is just run. And another thing about it is when you come across a player, like the player's either going to stay there and fight, and if you're a melee character, they're going to get far away from you. But if you're a player that needs to be far away, you'll notice that players are literally trying to climb inside you. Like, it's horrible. They get so close to you and they will not back off. And it doesn't help when they always seem to have like a faster character than you have. Because if you're the sniper, like you're kind of fast, but Captain Mendoza can constantly run, so he's obviously going to be able to catch up to you. Like, that's what I mean with the characters. You need to pick one that you can get comfortable with. You know your distance to be from enemies. You know how to use all your abilities and stuff, because it is tough if you don't know what you're doing. The first time I went in as the sniper, I found myself far too close to enemies. So there's a lot going on in this game. Nobody seems to know like what's sort of happening, and I mean, I don't think it's ever going to take off. It's not going to be as big as Overwatch. It won't reach anywhere near as big as Fortnite and Warzone and stuff. And I know it's not a battle royale, but I mean, the player base is never going to be big. The game will never ever take off. It doesn't have the ability to. The potential is there, but it depends on the development team. And the player base is all over the place at the moment. Like, the reviews are disgusting. Like, I don't think this game deserves the reviews it's got. The last time I had a look, it was 43% positive, so it's mixed reviews, almost negative on Steam. That was after 4,300 reviews. It now has over 7,000, and it's exactly the same percentage. Like, people are knocking this, and I don't know if it's the same reason people knocked Anthem or Breakpoint, because a lot of people just jumped on the bandwagon. They were being sheep and, oh yeah, look, people are saying this game's shit, I'm going to do the same thing. Negativity always spreads a lot faster than positivity, and I don't know if it's that that's holding the reviews back, but 43% I don't think the game deserves. I think it deserves more, because it's not a bad game. I feel the devs need to put more time into it, release more content, actually help players understand it better than just throwing them into Harvest Command and they're like, do I do some PvE, do I do some PvP, do I go and cut the harvesters? Because not only that, it always seems as though there's a fight around one harvester. Like, if you're playing Harvest Command, if you go to Charlie, like if you look on your map and you see a couple of your teammates are at Charlie, you can know that there are going to be enemies there and more of your team are going to flood in. Like, it's such a team-based game. It's really, really good. You do get the odd lone wolf here and there thinking he's double hard and all that sort of shit where he's running around by himself. You do get a few of those here and there, but they normally get slapped because there's normally like 1 or 2 at least of your team players with you. So it's very good in terms of being team-based, and with the essence helping your entire team, it kind of helps with the focus. But because there is so much going on, we normally lose the games we play. Like, because I've played 5 or 6 matches now, I've only ever won 2. I've lost the others because nobody's capping the harvesters. People are focused on other things because there's so many different things to focus on. So I'd say they need to simplify it a bit more, release new content for it, like, just see how the game goes. They've done an update for it, fixed a couple of issues. The game does seem to be running fine. There's not really lag or anything. The servers are okay. And just in general, like, I do think it's a decent game. And you don't have to dip into your wallet if you don't want to. There are microtransactions, but they're optional. But it's free to play. So I would definitely recommend at least giving it a go and making an opinion for yourself. I wouldn't bash the game unless you've actually tried it. And I would love to play more of it. I probably am going to, and I'm just hoping that the player base doesn't completely drop off. As I said, I don't think this is going to build up much of a fan base at all. It was a good attempt, but it feels lazy in some parts, and it's a weird game. It doesn't know what it wants to be. But on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.